right, here we are. I screwed this whole thing up. Wow. There we go. That's better. I can see. Good. Skip the intro this week, huh? Can everyone hear me? Muted. Unmute. Now you can hear me, right? Thumbs up. Can you hear me? How do I hear myself? Audio. Yep. That one works too. Good. I think we're good. Okay. We'll get started in a minute here. This week, referrals and the source of referrals and what it really means. I think we take this for granted. It's really important, and the people that think about this and invest back into referrals do so much better than people who don't. So I hope this is going to be a great one for you guys. I don't have much of a video for you, so we'll do it like this and we'll leave it open to questions. But referral, I'm going to start off with the easy stuff, the stuff that I know most health service providers do well anyways. But let's go through it. Number one, when it comes to creating a referral-based practice, which is the ideal business. Imagine having a restaurant that you did no marketing on and you just had repeat business and referrals the whole time. Those are some of the best businesses that you could ever run, is a referral-based, purpose, customer-driven practice or business. So let's go through that. And it's providing exceptional service. This is number one. And I'm going to go through that as number one because everyone does that. I think otherwise you're going to go out of business. So chiropractors especially go out of their way to provide exceptional service. And you do this in a couple ways. And there's probably 100 ways that we could provide exceptional service. And you guys could all give me answers on this. But let's go through the major ones. Deliver personalized care. If people feel like they're personally being taken care of on a one-on-one basis and not just another number, it goes so much further. And I think chiropractors get an A- on this. They do a really good job. It just, in some cases, it does become mundane and it does become very repetitive. That's why I don't give us an A+. And I think we all succumb to that in some way, shape, or form. So when you want to deliver personalized care, you have to take the time to understand each patient's needs and tailor your treatment plan accordingly. I think most of you do that. Let's move on. Offer a positive patient experience. Most of you do that. You can actually ask for a Google review and you'll get it. That's how good your positive experience is. And then number three, and I'm going to slow down for number three, provide and educate exceptional content for your patients. Educate your patients. Make sense? This is the foundation to wonderful referrals for the rest of your career, is educating them. Now, you're going to say, well, what do we educate them on? What's the script? What's the workshop? There is no script or workshop. It's based on your certainty, your own perspective about what you do. And that's what makes you very unique and helps you help the people that you do. You may not realize this, but you may think you help everyone. I love this one. Anyone with a spine. Really? You're going to help every single person with a spine? That's literally every single human on earth. Or everyone with teeth, if a dentist said that. Anyone with teeth in their mouth are a great patient for me. Are they? If they can't afford your care, are they a great patient for you? If they only have 3 teeth left, are they a good patient for you? If they have ankylosing spondylitis throughout their entire spine and are 81 years old, are they a good patient for you? Maybe they are. Maybe that's your niche. But the point of it is that your niche is what becomes your patient education. And that's what ends up happening. You actually filter down. And if you look at your patient base, the people who stay, pay, and refer are the ones that are your ideal client. And you may or may not realize this. Does that make sense? What's your ideal clients out there? What do you do to educate patients? Do you repeat the 33 principles to them on day 2? Do you sit them down for a new patient orientation? Is that part of your gig? And all these things are great. I'm not saying they're bad, but what do you do when patients understand the value of the chiropractic care that you give them or the care that you give them? They're more likely to refer others. You're going to excite them about what you do. And most of your referrals come at the beginning. It's during that experience, right? Like when people leave a good meal at a good restaurant, they're raving about them very shortly after. They are now posting on social media as they're enjoying the meal. That's how quick they are and telling people where they're at. And then they may refer afterwards or they may post afterwards. And then the next day it starts to wear off, right? So that's where all this creating raving fans starts at the beginning of your entire process of getting them on. And it's based on education. Build strong relationships. So this is both inside your practice and outside your practice. This helps you foster trust in your community. You can establish trust and credibility by being transparent, empathetic, and compassionate in what you do. We do this. I think we naturally do this as healthcare providers. Communicate effectively, listen attentively, but also address the concerns and maintain open lines of communication. What extra steps do you take in your patient care to leave those lines of communication open? Do you have direct text? Do you have direct messaging? Do you have direct email? You may feel like you do, but do you actually use these things in a way to help patients? Do you text them after their first adjustment, asking them how they're doing? Do you maybe give them a call after their first treatment, how they're doing? Do you call them later in the week to review their care plan to make sure they understand? Do you have a follow-up email that you send to them? Maybe a customized email. Maybe it's a nurture sequence, a general email, whatever it may be. What are you doing to foster that trust in what you do? Communicate effectively and develop a referral network so you build relationships with other professionals and other business owners in your area, such as whatever, primary care physicians, orthopedists, physical therapists. These are the people that come to your mind first. But what about the hairdresser, the nail salon, the daycare place, the after hours school, the camp place, the whatever it may be? Where does your ideal client also go and shop and use other services? The dog groomers, things outside the box where you start to develop a network. That's how you build strong relationships. And then those strong relationships lead to a direct referral source. People will just, other business owners may not even come and use your service and refer to you. Has that ever happened to anyone? Where you just networked for a little bit, you met the plumbers or a tradesperson, they haven't even seen you, and then they refer. Typically for me, what happens is they'll actually come in, them or a family member or their spouse or a child will come in because they're like, wow, I really got to get my kid checked, or I really need to get checked. And they come on in, and they may only come in once or twice, but you've had such a great pre-relationship with them before they came in that even though they tried it, they came and they experienced it, and they maybe never did a care plan, they maybe not even got any better, they maybe never did anything really, and then they just start referring to you. Have you had that? That's because you took the time to build strong relationships in your community. The more you do, the more referral streams you have. I like that network of 100 people, or that, gang of, small group of people, or that 20. I like 20 is a good number. Like you have a group of 20 professionals that make your list, or other business owners that have a 20 referral streams coming to your office just passively because you've nurtured those relationships. You go to them every quarter, or you try and invite them to a hockey game or whatever, or they invite you, and you actually say yes and you show up to these networking events. These are the things that build strong relationships for great referrals. Okay. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. I think we do those things. I think all of you do those things. As a business owner, you're going out shaking hands all the time. I know you are. I know you are doing that. So what else can you do? Encourage direct referrals. I think this is where a lot of us, almost over half of us, fall flat, is we don't even ask for referrals. We don't even ask them. We may passively do things to say they're free to make a referral, but don't be afraid to ask your satisfied patients for a referral. Let them know that you appreciate their trust and are always welcoming new patients. Incentivize referrals. Yes, I recorded this. This is saved on my YouTube channel. Send it to the state bar, get me in trouble, whatever you want. Incentivize referrals doesn't mean you have to break any rules or give money or gift them, but you can incentivize things by, telling the patients who refer others to your office that they have a direct in, or incentivizing them saying, hey, we typically have a wait list for patients to get in, but you, Doug, if you refer them in, I'll make sure to get them in same day or next day just because they're coming from you. This is how we build our business. This is how I want to continue to build my business. And I want more Dougs in my office. That's exactly the words that I say. So when I use the word, that's an incentive. Isn't that an incentive to get them into your office? I didn't say give them $100. If they do that, that's completely illegal. But incentivizing, giving them ways and making that red velvet rope to your practice where people, just like a bar, those nightclubs, remember when you were in your 20s? Those nightclubs, you'd have to wait in line around the rope. They weren't red velvet, just a rope or something. And they made you just stand in line and wait for you to get into the bar for stupid reasons. Really just reasons to make you wait. Honestly, it was really that. They say they were at capacity. They're not at capacity. They're creating FOMO, making you fear that you're going to miss out and you're going to wait in line. And then by the time you get in there, crunch your time shorter so that you spend more money. I used to be a bartender, so we get that. But you're going to create this red velvet rope for your office, and people will know the system. Oh, it takes 3 weeks to get in with Dr. Enrico. He just backed up. It just takes that much time. He only accepts so many new patients. But then you tell Doug, hey, I can get in referrals directly from you because you refer great people next day. I have VIP spots open in my schedule every single day. We call them emergency spots for people who really are in an emergency, but they typically don't fill up. People in emergencies go to the urgent care. They don't go to the chiropractor. But we have those open and they're called our VIP spots. You're more than welcome to refer to them. And that's a great incentive there. And then provide referral cards. We print these cool, and I should put them in the Marketing 101 group, metal. They're made of metal just because they're heavy. And we call them VIP cards. We print like 50 of these. And it says VIP on there. It's got our logo. I don't have one to show you at my office right now here at home, and it has your address. And you give 1 or 2 of these to Doug and you say, Doug, here's a VIP card. Put this in your wallet or put it in your car. You're obviously not going to lose this thing. It's pure metal. Take it. And when you refer someone, give it to them. I only know that the 4 or 5 of these are out there. I know if I get one back, it's coming from you. Once it comes back, I'll give it to you again. But then we'll know that you sent them and then, give you a thanks, but also tell them, hey, Doug's a great patient, and give you all the kudos for bringing them to our office. These things actually work well. And if not, you've got 50 metal cards out in your community going out. I mean, it's going to stimulate some conversation. I just ran into a husband and wife that we take care of. They come in regular, husband and the kids come in regularly every 2 weeks. And I saw them at the bar at this restaurant, and I walked by them and I bought him a beer, dropped it on the table, and pretended I was a waiter. I'm like, hey, here's your beer that you ordered, sir. And he laughed. Oh my God. And his wife's like, we were just talking about you. I mean, that's how you set roots in your community. I'm like, what? It's Friday night. Why are you talking about your chiropractor? They were there for Italian food. They remember the time we did a celebration dinner 3-4 years ago at an Italian restaurant up the road. And they were invited to it. And they invited others to it that became new patients to our office too. We'll talk about this some other time about maybe celebration dinners or whatever it may be. But that's how you create roots in your community. You got to keep on with this stuff. That was effortless for me. I was there with my kids and my wife, and we're waiting to be seated. And I just saw him. The guy's like 6'5". You can't miss the guy. And I saw him walking by, saw where he sat down, went to the bar, bought a beer, gave it to him. And come on, these little things that happen. But he also did that about 8 months ago when my wife and I were on date night. He saw us, he bought us a beer. It's pretty cool, right? And these are just patients. Never hung out with them before. Just patients in your office that you create great relationships with. What are some great relationships that you guys have done? Put it in the comments, and as I keep talking, I'll read them out and we can share it together. What are some great things that you do in your community that help build your reputation? So don't be afraid to encourage direct referrals. I think we just don't do it. We just don't do it. Hey, Doug, if you think of anyone, here's 2 cards. Hey, man, we are accepting new patients right now, and we just hired a new doctor. We're trying to build the practice again like we did, 6 years ago. We're back in grind mode. If you know people that could use our services, we're wide open. Dr. Miller and I are accepting new patients. She's got a wide open schedule. Bring them on in. They'll get the full life experience. Another one, number 4, is enhance online presence. And I think we talk about this verbatim each and every week. To enhance your online presence, make sure you have a professional website. It should be informative, especially easy to navigate, and to the point. And then leverage social media to maintain active profiles on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Don't forget your LinkedIn, and share educational content and cross post across all of them. And then ask for reviews, just like how you can ask for referrals, ask for reviews. You guys go to the Marketing 101 group. We've got the Google card that you can use. Um, and those Google cards you can give to a patient. We put a QR code on the back. You just change your QR code to your business Google link, and then they go there. And we also have these cool little nifty things they can hold their phone right up against the plastic card, and it tells them, it automatically pops up our Google review, and we have like 5 of them around the office. So that's a pretty cool way to stimulate referrals as well. Outside talks, absolutely, that's a great way to get into the community, and setting them up consistently. So how do you set up talks? I used to be heavy into talks in my community up in Calgary. And what you do is you just call companies and you get in with the HR person. You just need to get a hold of that HR person. Once you get a hold of them, it's very easy. Hey, I'm Dr. Enrico. I go around Calgary and I do, or your hometown, wherever it is. I go around Philadelphia and I do stress workshops for corporations from anywhere from 10 employees to 100. I can do these in 15 to 45 minutes. Very quickly. I typically like lunch hours. If there's any time you need to do this, it costs you $0. And my mission is just to help educate corporations on how to keep as low stress as possible in the workplace when people are working 40, 50, 60 hours. If that's something you'd like to do, that's it. You're not telling them the custom outline of what you're presenting, and then you go in there and do your thing. Pretty simple stuff. That is a gold one when it comes to talks. Great job there. It just says Facebook user, but thanks for chiming in there. Participate in community outreach. We just talked about, or enhance online presence. We talked about this. My Google page, my Google My Business, Yelp, all these things, health grades, WebMD, all these things you need to be ranked well and have positive reviews on. Always be checking on your reviews and making sure your relationship on the internet looks good. Workshops and seminars, sponsor local events. Be a sponsor in your local community. When a patient base asks us to sponsor their school, or for some reason we're all part of the swim teams right now. We're taking care of like so many swimmers, and many of them are on the same team or in the same organization. And one of them came up and said, "Hey, you should put up a banner in our place." One of them saw another chiropractor put it up, and they're like, "Why is that guy? When no one goes to him, put up your banner." I'm like, "Great, I'll get you a banner." They're like, "Just get us a banner." They weren't even organized. They just put a banner up by the swimming pool, and it has our QR code on it, and people can scan it. Another school asked us, would you like to do? Another school offered just again, a banner situation. Another one was like $300. They got a banner up, but not just a banner. Don't go around to schools to put your banner up. You have to know that the population is there at that organization using your services. It can be one client, but it has to be one good referring client, and then that's totally worth doing, because now you've got representatives at that establishment referring to your practice. Pretty cool, right? That one's a cool one. I'm all about local sponsorships, but I found when I go out and search for them, they don't work very well. Or when their sales reps call us saying, "Hey, would you like to sponsor this high school basketball team?" Never works out. Never really does anything. But when it's organic like that, jump all over it. Those are great ways to advertise for very low dollars, sometimes even free. All you have to do is just print a banner. Pretty cool stuff. And they'll leave it up there forever. They say it's every year. They do not tear them down every summer. What else we got? Sponsor local events. You take the initiative to sponsor your local events, community events, sports teams, charitable organizations, to increase your practice's visibility and demonstrate your community and your commitment to the community. And then collaborate with other businesses. Work with the restaurants and other things to help support other programs around town as well. You can go in as a 1-2 punch. You can go in with maybe a mental health counselor. Be like, "Hey, listen, I do all these stress talks at all these establishments. Would you be willing to team up with me?" And I can just tell them, "Hey, if you need any counseling, if anyone needs any counseling, here's a great local counselor that is accepting new patients that doesn't take 4 months to get into." Great little things like that. But make sure those are things that person can actually do to help you help other people. And then utilize digital marketing. You have to, once you see, this is the last thing. This is, everybody just jumps to this. Let's spend more money on marketing. Yes, but if you have no community involvement, if you have no online presence, if you have no social platforms that are consistent, your digital dollars cost a lot. Your Google ads suck. They just suck because they just won't work because you have no cross referrals across the internet. It is the foundational groundwork to this. And the nice thing about doing this stuff is that you're creating direct referral sources to your business. So even if you don't even make it to the digital spending of digital marketing, you have created net referral pathways to your business by doing and being consistent with this stuff. This should be the word of 2024. It should be the word forever. It's consistency. It's the only way to make change. Diamonds don't happen overnight. They're made over constant pressure over a long period of time. You know this. We don't have time to become diamonds. I'm telling you that right now. Do not aim for diamond status. You got a 40-year career. Carbon is not going to turn to diamonds in 40 years. So pick something else. Pick some other analogy that works for you. But that is it. This is the repetitive, consistent. It doesn't have to be dragging. It doesn't have to feel like you're going through the mud. It should be organic. Talk to the people you want to talk to, and encourage relationships with the patients that you enjoy helping. It goes a really long way. Just don't be shy. Don't be shy. When we advertise a lot, we get patients, our current patients, are you guys okay? Are you doing okay? We're like, yeah, we're okay. We're seeing you everywhere on Facebook. Like, I see your ads every day. Like, are you guys okay? I'm like, stop clicking on them, Ron. Like, just stop it. You're screwing up the algorithm. And but that's the thing. And then when we don't do much, everyone assumes you're doing well. So who cares what other people think? If you went in this week, I promise you, and you asked, I don't care if you see 100 visits a week or 800 visits a week. If you repeated yourself 800 times or 100 times this week, the same person's going to hear it twice. Like, out of those 100 people that you see, probably 30 of them see you 3 times a week because they're brand new patients. So 10 patients are seeing you 3 times a week right now. So those are your 30. The other 70 are seeing you regularly, probably. That's probably what's happening. So 10 people are going to hear you say this 3 times. Who cares? The others are going to hear you say it once. Hey, Nancy, if you know anyone that could use our services, here's 2 cards. Pass those out to them, hand them out to them, tell them about your experience with us, and watch what ends up happening. We're going to end up helping more people. We're on a mission this year. We want to help more people. Here's 2 cards. Go for it. The people who just started with you, they are potentially going to be your loudest fans right now, right? You got to think of, I'm a big sports fan. You got to think of these arenas. Let's pick a hockey arena or a football arena. And those are your fans, right? When people first join you, it's like Taylor Swift. They want front row, Tom Brady here in Tampa, right? Front row, 50-yard line. But they're fighting for those seats. They want to they want to smell Tom Brady, right? They're the raving fans. They're new to the stadium. They want to be there. Those are your new patients, right? They're there. If Tom Brady craps the bed that night, they are pissed. They're leaving a negative Google review, right? But if he wins, which he typically does, they're super happy. They're super happy. So, and then they're raving about the game. They're celebrating that they spent $350 on a ticket to sit in those seats. You got to think your new patients. So those new patients that you give 6 business cards to this week, because you said 2 cards to every single person, that means 200 business cards are going to be given out this week. Your new patients are going to get 6. Do you think they're going to be worried about that? Some of them on the second or third visit are going to be like, Doc, you already did this. You gave me. I'm like, yeah, no. I want you to have 10 business cards. How many do you have? They're like, well, 6 now. Well, you're 4 short. I'm going to grab you another 4. Like, that's how I do things. Like, that's my quick thinking. They're like, I already have these. I'm like, no, my goal is to give you 10 business cards this week. They're like, what? Why? I'm like, you're going to refer people. I mean, look what we're doing here. We're saving the world. Yeah, I guess you are. Holy crap. Yeah. Okay. Are they going to refer 10 people? I don't know. Are they going to refer 1? That's the whole goal. If everyone refers a person at some point in their short care plan, 3-4 months, guys, this is better than any dollars you can spend on marketing. There's no way to get that return. So focus on the groundwork and keep going, but do the stuff you love. Otherwise it becomes tedious. It drags you down. The stories over the last 6 months of this people struggling is crazy. But, but I've gone out of my way to call as many people as I can, colleagues, friends, chiropractors, whatever, and ask others how they're doing. And they are consistently doing well. They're like, we're doing great. We're growing. We're going to have growth this year. I'm like, oh man, I need to hear that. I need to hear that because a lot of people I'm helping are pretty stuck. So it's not all doom and gloom. You choose the bubble you live in, change the bubble. If you don't like the bubble, change it. I know it sounds easy, but that's how we do it. And it's the groundwork. Do the groundwork. Referral-based practice is the best practice you can possibly. No one can argue with me on this. They referred patients stick and refer more people. It's amazing. Questions about anything, guys. I am here for you. It's free coaching. Anything you need, let me know. Ask right here. I've got access to my computer. I can pop up anything and share the screen. If you have any questions, referrals, print marketing 101, make sure you're part of that group, right? That's where all the free stuff is. Just go to videos, files, and pictures. They're all three things. Files you can just download the Word document or PDF and use it in your practice. Change it, plug it into Canva, change your name on it, change the QR code, print. They're yours. Swipe and deploy everything that I have. If I ripped it off someone else, I don't know. Who cares? I'll deal with it later. I haven't. I'm just kidding. I haven't never ripped anything. And if I have permission. David Jackson shared some stuff, Jim Tempo. That's about it. Anything else? I'm here for you. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to just kind of stick around for a couple more minutes because we're only 27 minutes in. Good dealing with anything else? You can always ask questions in the group. Don't be shy when you go in there. People don't, it's a direct message group. It's so funny. They just direct message me as soon as they get my email, or I get tons of stuff in the email, but I'm like, ask that in the group. That's a great question. Ask it in the group. I don't know. I filtered it so well that it's just DCs in there and no one else and no other spam. I think everyone's kind of timid in the Marketing 101 for Facebook group for chiropractors because they know everyone else is their colleague in there. Maybe I'm guessing, but isn't that a safe place? That's kind of like the classroom back in chiropractic school where you can just ask a question and learn together. That's what I tried to create. But make sure you're part of that group. If you need anything, I'm here for you anytime. Just reach out. It may take me, 24 hours to get back to you, but I'll get there. Do you just add people to your email list when they fill out new patient paperwork, or do you ask to sign them up for their newsletter later? We add them on our new patient paperwork. We have in parentheses in italic, giving us your email allows you to be added to our content. And I should get the exact word for you. We don't say newsletter. You be for emails from our office, for promotional emails from our office. It says it right there. And if they don't fill it out, we're like, can you please fill out your email? We make them write it in. They have to. Because you have to have it written in, because just because they emailed you to become a new patient from your website doesn't mean you can automatically spam them. However, we can also do that. As I said it out loud, we also can do that because they have to check an opt-in box on our website when they submit the contact us form. So they actually opt into promotional. And anything you reply with from a business is considered promotional. When a contact us form goes into your office and you reply, that's a promotional reply. It's considered promotion. If somebody reports you as spam, it could hurt wherever your domain's coming from. But how many of you get reported for spam? I don't think I've ever been put in. I look at our stats and there's a couple bounces because of a wrong email or somebody closed their email. But I don't think I've ever seen a reported spam. They either truly unsubscribe or that's it. As long as you have an unsubscribe option, you're good. Don't worry about this. Just put something by the email saying, by giving us your email, you're allowing us to contact you for future responses or future promotional responses. I would put that right in there. Save yourself the hassle. Great question. So the answer is yes. Every single email we get, every single email, phone number, name, and address is saved into our CRM and our EHR. It's mine forever. When you go to sell your business, there's going to be a day, right? That you hopefully sell. That list could be worth next to nothing or make bang for your office. We're going to be 6 years in June, 10,000 on the list. Well, I'm 6 years in. What happens at 18 years, 21 years? I don't know how long I'm going to go. I mean, 30, 40, 50,000 list. I could sell this outside of chiropractic. I could sell that list to multiple different data firms and be like, here's the ideal, here's the client list. They are all 30 to 65 years old and live in this 6-mile radius. Do you know how much that's worth? Like, you guys got to think outside the box. No chiropractors do that. No one sells their lists. Do you know how much that is worth? 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 list. My goal is to get 100,000 list. If you fine tune that list enough, I could sell it for $1 million. You're like, no. 30 to 65-year-olds in an affluent area in Tampa Bay, sell it to Aetna. Sell it to, it's probably not Aetna. It won't be the actual insurance group. It'll be a conglomerate third-party group that buys it, that does the data for them and sells their product for them in affiliate marketing. They will use that list and then send it out. And in the emails, there'll be advertisements for Esurance, Aetna, Medicare. I'm not going to go figure out how to do that. That's fine. I don't need to. Sell the list. There you go. See, if you watch to the end of the video, Enrico's going to give you freaking outside crazy ideas that will help you at some point in your career. Guys, this stuff is worth more than the money. You don't realize this. Your patient base and your files are worth more than the cash that you make doing what you do for your entire career. I don't know. You make money to spend money, right? To live. That's what it's called. Not very many of you are really having a lot of icing on the cake where at the end of each year, you're stockpiling a bunch of cash. It's very rare to hear this in chiropractic. Some people do. Year on end, they are saving, $50,000 cash and investing $50,000 into whole life insurance, real estate, other things. Some people do. I do. And that will continually grow over my life. But the cash hoarding doesn't make much sense. You don't have it. So build these businesses strong. And this is how you do it. Save that data. So many docs have their stuff in their EHR. Thank God they have an EHR where it saves this stuff. I'm like, guys, you're sitting on a freaking gold mine. And then all we do is just an email sequence and email blasts hard for 2 months. And they get 35 new patients from the list that they already had, or reactivations, whatever it may be. Great question. Whoever's asking questions, way to go. You just did half the show just with your 2 questions. It just says Facebook user. I don't know why. This is what StreamYard does. Great. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? We're lucky as chiropractors. We can suck and still do really well. It's a blessing in our industry. Other industries cannot. You cannot suck as a dentist and do well. You cannot, maybe as an optometrist, but I mean, you cannot in many industries suck for very long and actually do pretty good. Like have a family, own your house, have some savings, go on vacations. Only chiropractors. Crazy. It's so crazy. I've been consistently posting content to a Facebook page since November. Would I now run ads to grow the page as in traffic? Beautiful. So you've been running to a Facebook page. I love it. You must be following me for a few months. That's great. Good job. Then what you do now is you're going to go through those posts. Start with the most recent and start going down your feed. And look at the likes and comments. You may have 6 likes, no comments, 5 likes, no comments, 9 likes, 1 comment, 1 comment, 1 like, 2 likes, no comments, 3. And you just go down the posts and you look at the last 12 and you're like, the best one was the 9 likes and 1 comment. I'm going to boost that for $1 a day for 7 days. No ads. Now you're boosting that to your local radius, to your ideal client. 28 to 62, men and women. You boost it. I don't care what that picture was or what that comment was. That's the winner in the last 10 days. You boost it. Then you go back and look at the next 12 from the previous 10 days. And you do the same thing. You pick a winner. And then once that 7 days is up, you boost that one. Now as you're boosting for 7 days, you're also making content for 7 days, correct? Because you're posting every day. Then you pick a winner from this week and you boost that next week. Then you do it every week. So $7 a day, you're spending $30 a month on boosting for about 1 to 2 months. So now you're in what's called the boost phase. Okay, I'm going to write this in. $1 per day for 7 days. Sometimes, depending where you're at, there you go. Sometimes where you're at, they'll say you have to do a minimum of $10. That's fine. Whatever. Do the $10. Totally worth it. 4 weeks in a month, $40 a month. Start there 1 to 2 months. So now you're going to have 8 boosts, and then watch what happens. Then out of the 8 winners, it's like the playoffs, right? You had a whole bunch of teams. The 8 teams make the playoffs, right? You pick the winner, the 1 or 2 winners that are going to go to the Super Bowl, and then you run ads with those posts. Oh, dude, you stayed to the end, man. This is it. This is how you build ads. And then once you start doing this stuff, then you run ads. Then you run your offer, your $49 exam, your $99 exams, your posture screening, whatever promo for the month, your orthotic thing in March, whatever it may be. Now your community's involved in what you do, and you've built your background audience. Great question. This guy's hitting home runs, or gal. Great work. Great question. Boost. Don't run ads yet because you don't know who the winners are. Great work. And you guys may have noticed this even on your own page or your own profile when you post stuff. You get like 4 or 5 likes maybe on some of your stuff, right? Or 12 or 15, whatever you get, 30. And then you post something at 350 likes and like 19 comments. It's usually a picture of my kid on their birthday. I posted, "Happy birthday, sweetie. I love you more than anything in the world." And it's a great picture at their birthday party. And then boom, all the family and stuff, of course, like it. It creates that algorithm. That is not the business algorithm, though, on our personal profiles. That is our family algorithm. It makes you no money. Do not run ads there. You want it. That's why you run your page. It's your business algorithm. So everything you're posting is about your business. So people who are watching it and seeing it and liking it, the algorithm's remembering their profile and what type of person they are. And then they're going to show your boosts to more of those people. Then those boosts are going to feed the algorithm more. Now they're going to have more content and be like, "Oh man, 38-year-old that does yoga and shops at Target." Boom. Then when you run your ads, now you're on hyperspeed targeting those people again, and more people like them. That's why you get way more impressions on ads. Oh, I could talk all night. You got me going. I love this stuff. Good. Great question. Anything else? 10 o'clock on a Monday night, Eastern time. Great, guys. Great questions. And if I ever cut this short and you put questions on YouTube or Facebook, I'll respond. I'll respond to them right there. And then these are saved. Go back and watch and speed through at any time. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week, guys. Keep doing what you do. That's the only way to win.